The Homeless Man Who Saved a Billionaire's Daughter. Chapter 7, The Trap Begins. The windshield wipers of the black, armored SUV fought a losing battle against the relentless deluge hammering down on Manhattan. Streetlights bled into blurred streaks of amber and crimson across the wet glass as Ethan Vance navigated the darkened streets toward the Sterling Global Financial Data Center in the financial district. Beside him in the passenger seat sat a heavy tactical case containing a hardened field terminal and a localized quantum decryption rig tools Ethan had spent the afternoon configuring. His earpiece hummed with low static before Marcus's voice crackled through the secure frequency. "Commander, I have secured the penthouse perimeter. Master lockdown is engaged. Miss Sterling and her father are inside the safe room suite. Automated turrets and biometric locks are active." "Understood, Marcus," Ethan replied, his eyes scanning the rearview mirror for tails. "Keep your eyes on the elevator shafts and service stairwells. The virus executing on the corporate mainframe isn't an automated script, it's being guided manually from inside the server hub. Whoever inserted that drive is still on site. Be careful, Ethan," Aria's voice suddenly filtered through the channel, clear and edged with anxiety. "Our building security logs show that the chief network engineer for the data center, David Chen, clocked in 20 minutes before the breach. He's been with my father for 8 years. Everyone has a price or a vulnerability when Julian Carter comes calling, Aria," Ethan said quietly. "Stay behind the blast doors. I'll clear the facility and neutralize the virus." "Ethan, bring yourself back in one piece," she whispered softly before the line fell silent. Ethan clicked off the transmitter, his jaw tightening. 7 years of cold isolation had built a wall around his heart, but Aria Sterling was steadily chipping away at the foundation. He pulled the SUV into the underground loading bay of the Sterling Global Data Center, dousing the headlights as the heavy steel gate rolled down behind him. The facility was dead quiet. Unlike the high-rise corporate headquarters, the data center was a bunker built 3 levels underground, a fortress housing thousands of liquid-cooled server racks storing encrypted defense contracts, global stock market ledgers, and proprietary satellite tracking codes. Ethan unbuckled his harness, checked the magazine of his suppressed sidearm, and chambered around with a satisfying metallic click. He pulled his black tactical jacket tight, slipping his field terminal onto his shoulder, and stepped out into the damp subterranean silence. The main security checkpoint in the subterranean lobby was empty. The glass booth was spotless, but a mug of coffee sat on the counter, still faint steam rising into the chilly air. Fresh, Ethan noted, his military instincts sharpening instantly. No sign of struggle. The guards were either bribed, dismissed, or neutralized quietly. Ethan tapped the door release using an administrative bypass card Victor had provided. The pneumatic lock hissed open, revealing the long, dimly lit corridor leading to the main server farm, a cavernous room known inside the company as the Vault. As Ethan moved down the corridor, his boots making no sound against the rubberized floor, the overhead fluorescent lights flickered, casting long, dancing shadows against the acoustic wall paneling. The temperature dropped significantly. The industrial cooling systems were running at maximum capacity to prevent the overheating mainframe from melting down under the malicious code. Through the heavy double doors of the vault, a low, Ominous hum resonated. Thousands of blue and green LED lights flickered across rows of floor-to-ceiling server racks, but among them, a violent, spreading cascade of red indicators signaled the virus's aggressive path. Standing before the central control console in the middle of the server farm was a man in a gray technician uniform, his fingers typing frantically across a touch interface. David Chen, Ethan's voice cut through the hum of the cooling fans like an icy blade. The engineer froze, his shoulders hitching in panic. He slowly turned around, his face pale under the harsh LED lights, sweat dripping from his forehead despite the freezing temperature of the room. "See Commander Vance," Chen stammered, his voice trembling violently as he backed away toward a server rack. I was trying to stop the breach. The system went red 20 minutes ago." Ethan didn't raise his weapon, but his posture was absolute lethal readiness. He stepped closer, his ice-blue eyes scanning the console. A heavy, military-grade flash drive with a glowing red encrypted housing was plugged directly into the root access port of the master server. "That drive carries an Aegis zero-day payload, David," Ethan said softly, his voice devoid of anger, carrying only terrifying clarity. "You didn't come down here to stop it. You plugged it in. How much did Julian Carter pay you, or did he threaten your family?" Chen swallowed hard, tears welling in his eyes. "You don't understand. He has my daughter, Ethan. They took her from her college campus yesterday. Julian said if I didn't insert the drive and hold the root access open for 30 minutes, he'd send her back to me in a box." Ethan stopped 10 feet away. A cold pang of familiarity struck him. Julian's signature tactic. Using loved ones as leverage to turn honest men into traitors. "Where is she, David?" Ethan asked, his voice softening slightly. "Where are they holding her?" I don't know." Chen sobbed, holding his trembling hands up. "He just gave me a secure satellite phone and told me to wait until the drive reached 100% transfer." Before Ethan could ask another question, the overhead lights in the vault snapped off completely, plunging the vast server farm into near-total darkness, illuminated only by the frantic red blinking of the compromised servers. "Pneumatic lock engaged," a synthesized voice echoed from the automated ceiling speakers. "Facility lockdown mode active. All external doors sealed." From the far end of the server aisle, the heavy metallic sound of weapon slides racking echoed through the dark. "I'm sorry, Ethan," Chen whispered in terror, backing away into the shadows. He told me if you came down here, you weren't supposed to leave alive." Suddenly, 3 tactical flashlights cut through the darkness from multiple angles, their blinding beams locking onto Ethan's position. "Drop the weapon, Commander!" a gravelly voice barked from behind the red lights. "Or we paint these expensive server racks with your brains." Ethan didn't drop his gun. His eyes adjusted to the glare in a fraction of a second, identifying 4 heavily armed contractors in unmarked tactical gear, wearing night vision goggles and carrying suppressed submachine guns. Another strike team from Aegis Security. Julian hadn't just intended to destroy Sterling Global's financial assets tonight. The virus was the bait, David Chen was the trap, and Ethan Vance was the target. Julian really needs to fire his tactical coordinator, Ethan said calmly into the dark, his fingers subtly feeling for a small thermal smoke grenade on his tactical belt. He keeps sending 4 men to do a job that requires a battalion. Shut him up, the team leader ordered. Before the contractor could squeeze the trigger, Ethan dropped low to the floor, pulling the pin on the thermal grenade and slamming it against the concrete floor. A blinding flare of white thermite light and thick, suffocating smoke erupted instantly, blinding the contractor's night vision goggles with overwhelming brightness. Screams of pain rang out as the mercenaries ripped the blinded goggles from their faces. In the blinding light and heavy smoke, Ethan Vance became a ghost once more.